Okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining today on this Easter Sunday, whatever that means. So it's not just another day; it's Easter Sunday. Um, I'm just very happy that you're here and that we can join in the light and love that we know that we are, that we can extend this like in an unlimited way. That to me is the most important thing that's going to happen tonight, or that's happening anyway. So I'm really happy that you joined and that you let everything be for a moment, that you let your past be what it is, that you take off any kind of backpack with old ideas that you're carrying with you. You can drop it. You don't need it here. You only need here like two open hands to receive, like an open mind to receive. And yeah, let this be an incredible moment that we share together. And I want to read a little bit from what Joel was saying in one of his talks, just because it's so spot on for me in my experience today. Because it is like I just have to read it. I will share something about it, or I will share something that comes up afterwards. But this is so beautifully done, beautifully said, so pure that I would love to share it on this beautiful day. This is from tape 389B. It's just a little bit at the end of the talk. He says this: our whole spiritual body that we read about, spiritual bond, spiritual union, universal consciousness, whatever you want to call it, is what I add to it. But we are one Son of God. We are just one Son of God. We are not like sick human beings made well. We're not sinning humans made pure. We have died to our humanhood. The past is dead and gone. And we've been raised up in our spiritual identity. And you can feel that when I read it. It's like we've been raised up in our spiritual identity. How fascinating is that? And that is called the resurrection. That's it. That's it. It is simple. So I'll read it again because it's like the foundation of what I think of what this half hour that we spent together is. It's like it's so good to be reminded of that we are basically that we are a spiritual body, that we are in spiritual bond and spiritual union. We are one Son of God. There are not many sons of God. No, it's you, it's us, we are one Son of God. We are not sick humans made well, and we're not sinning humans made pure. We have died to our humanhood. The past is dead and gone. And we have been raised up in our spiritual identity. And that is called the resurrection. So basically I've like, yeah, that's exactly it. It is it. It's like you have the experience of that we are of one body. You have this experience right now. Like our minds are naturally communicating. That's why we're drawn to this moment together. That's why we're drawn to sit and leave everything behind, whatever you were doing, and just take a moment to let this be our remembrance of who we really are. So it's a totally different story than to think like we're where sick humans being made well, or like our Savior died for us for our sins and on the cross, and you know it all became well with that, and that's, you know, that's very dramatic, but it has no reality in it. You know, it's like, no, the purity was already established right from the start, because we were always one body, we were always one Son of God. There hasn't been like a multiplication of that, and there never has been any separation. So we lived in our little dream. We lived in our little dream thinking that we were separated from God, but that doesn't have any reality. And I know that I'm teaching to the choir here. You all have this experience. You all know this. I know that for sure. So we have died to our humanhood. Our humanhood didn't have any juice for us anymore. No, it's like there was a moment in your spiritual awakening that you said, like, I cannot take this anymore. I'm so sick and tired of being tired all the time or being sick all the time. I'm so fed up with my own thoughts. This cannot be it. There must be something else. You know, you all have come to this moment. Otherwise, you literally wouldn't be here. So we have died to our humanhood, and you might as well admit it in that sense. Like, no, you really did die in your humanhood. Yeah. No, and the past is dead and gone. That's a great expression too. It's like whatever you can say about the past, it is over. You know, you cannot recall your experience of last month or last year or 20 years ago or 100 years ago. You cannot recall it again. It's just a fake memory, nothing more than just a little shadow just coming by. Like, no, the past is gone. So it doesn't need my focus either. I don't have to bring it back into every moment. No, it is like the only thing that is real is this moment. This what we share with each other, this moment that we are brought together is the only thing that is existing in this moment. There is nothing outside of that. There is just one experience, and that is you joining here as sons of God, or as a son of God. One mind, one heart, and one soul. There is only one waking up in that sense. So I love that. The past is dead and gone. It's over. We've died to our humanhood, and we have been raised into our spiritual identity. Well, that is totally miraculous. Who would have known that that was even a possibility? You know, when you were asleep, you were not thinking of that as a real good alternative. Like, oh yes, I'm going to wake up. I'm dreaming, like I'm sleeping now, but I'm going to wake up one day. Like, no, you could not have imagined what it meant. You could not have imagined what kind of change you had to go through in order to be raised in your spiritual identity. And now it is like you cannot think of it anymore as something that doesn't exist anymore. So it's always there. You can easily connect with it, and you don't have to identify with it. No, it is your identity. You know, the rest can be gone. The rest you don't need. So, and that is what we call the resurrection. That is what coming to life means. That is what raising the dead means. You know, we were dead, we were sleeping, and now we are awakening. We are resurrecting. Resurrecting in the present moment, where the past is gone and the future not there. Just right in this instant, it is happening. So this, to me, what Joel writes, is most amazing alignment in that sense, to be able to put that in like 5 sentences where you just say the whole thing, the whole spiritual awakening process, if you want to call it that. Like I love that idea. I love it the way he says that. And it is your personal experience. It is your experience. That is the coolest part of it. You know, that is totally amazing to me. So I'm very grateful for this day, to this Easter Sunday, to remember that again. You know, to just stand still for a moment and let that be the thing that we're remembering. Not as a mental activity, but as a real experience of gratitude and of grace, of light and love. So our minds are communicating, of course. There is only one mind, and it is yours. It is yours, communicating with every aspect of the universe. So if you don't experience that right now, so you can experience it. So why not? You can allow yourself to have that as an experience. So maybe we can just, it's not like practice it, but we can just relax even more, a little deeper, and let the healing occur that has to occur in us over and over again, because we get distracted and think that we're humans again, or thinking that we're separate again, or whatever it is. You know, that happens all the time. So it's like resurrection is a very active remembrance. It is not like once you turn it over, once you turn the switch, that it's arranged for the rest of your life. No, this is an active participation, because it is in the flow of giving, in the remembrance, in the acceptance and the allowance, that you extend the love that you are. So that's the beautiful part of it too, because it is alive. It is like, you cannot say to a plant, okay, you're a plant now, so just be yourself. And that the plant says, okay, well, I don't have to grow anymore. I'm a plant now. It's fine. I'm doing okay. Forget about it. No, a plant's a very creative. It's a very creative being. You know, it's not that it stands still or anything like that. No, it's always growing. It's always expanding. It's always, you know, that's like a beautiful, say, metaphor for spiritual growth, or for growing and awakening. It doesn't stand still. It's always expanding. So to bring one thing in as an extra ingredient, so to speak, yesterday I did something that this is a little bit about the past, I have to say. But yesterday I was at this flower show. In Holland you have this big flower show with all kinds of tulips. I think 7 million different tulips or something like that. And it is a typical Dutch thing that I never did before. I'm living in Holland for quite a while, but I never went to this typical Dutch thing to do that always seemed to me like only for tourists. But it doesn't matter in this story. It is a bit like when I walked around there and was really connecting with the tulips, like I was really taking a look at them. I used a camera for that. I really looked into this flower, and I really made contact with it. It was like a total remembrance of the creative principle that is alive in me. You know, that was the most amazing encounter I had there. I didn't expect that at all. Like I walked through the park and I was like, oh, beautiful flowers. But then suddenly I was looking at it I was really making contact with it. And then it was overwhelming what I saw. It was amazing. After an hour or so, I had to go because it was just too much. It was so overwhelming. And so it is like once you start to see the creative principle of everything around you, it's like you get overwhelmed, and that's a very lovely occurrence, a lovely thing to happen to you, because basically it's like, yeah, you cannot handle the love of God. You can literally not handle it. There is so much of it, and it's pouring down on us in every moment, all the time. And if you allow a little glimpse of it to come to you, it is already like too much. You will just fall apart in that sense. You know, it's just like you fall apart of joy and of gratitude and of delight. So if you need a tulip to remember you, that is wonderful. So that was a really beautiful encounter I had yesterday. So you never know where that comes from, you know. So this is how close it is to you. It's like it's nothing far out in the universe, or I don't know, like big fireworks somewhere inside your mind or something. No, no, no. It's such an incredible, intimate, encounter that you have with the love that you are. So in that sense, it's so good to make contact within, to come back and say like, okay, I am the Father, I and the Father are one. We are so joined together. There's no difference between God and me. There's no way that you can tell what's the end of God and the beginning of me, or something like that. Like, no, there's literally nothing outside of that. It is all encompassing. It is all, it just is all there is. So the spiritual bond that we represent by being together, by being remembered by it, remembering each other by just being present, is part of that, of course, too. So that's a very neat and lovely thing that is occurring. So I'm really happy on this beautiful Easter Sunday that we can share this together and just basically celebrate this just in a very simple occurrence of looking at a screen, basically, but going way beyond that, and joining our minds and hearts, in a way that is totally overwhelming. If I let that come to me, if I can receive that. So yeah, let's just be quiet for a little moment, and allow that to occur to us, or allow that to feel that. Yeah, this is so great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So the one thing that comes in mind, because the Easter Sunday, I just keep laughing about it a little bit, but the Easter Sunday is like a family kind of day too in lots of countries. So I discover for myself too that this you can come together with family. There's nothing wrong with it. It is only that it's like you will probably not celebrating the spiritual bonds that you share together, or you will not say be able to even express a little bit of the past is gone. You know, the past is dead and gone, and we've been raised into our spiritual identity. You know, that it can be possible that that occurs, but it's very rare to me in my family that that is an occurrence. You know, it's like mostly you talk about the past or just keep repeating that, or little stories that you can share because you have like the common experience together of being there in the same place in that year, in that time, and that day. You know, you share old anecdotes, and like I said, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like it has nothing to do with communication. So that to me is makes it like not very attractive to participate in it. But I don't know how that is for you, but it's like to have just a moment in which you can forget the past and let go, so and you can drop that if you carry it with you anyway, your backpack full of ideas and old memories, and drop it right there, then you can be free to experience a new moment together in which you're not going to know what's going to happen, but you will know that it will be fresh and new and creative and expansive, you know, it will be expanding. It will be free, but it will be expensive. Yeah, so yeah, it is amazing how we do this. Once you are raised in your spiritual identity, there's no way back, and there's also always like a paradox of being in the world and participating with people that really think that they're going to die, or people that really think that there's nothing outside, like a spiritual world or spiritual life possible at all. So that's pretty paradoxical in that sense, to participate in a place like that. And what you see, because it's like there's nothing outside your mind, so what you see are still reflections of your own mind, but these reflections are the shadows from your own past, and they move by and they react to you a little bit as you react to it, or you do whatever you want with it. But if you don't react to them and just go within, you see that they will change or they will become quiet. And that can be the same with family and friends that you had before. It's like, no, suddenly they just disappear out of your world, and you don't have contact with them anymore, or it becomes very quiet, or active, things like that. So it is like the most impressive thing for you to happen, to be raised into your spiritual identity, not identifying with it like an ego identifying with the body, but no, the spiritual identity is your best kept secret in that sense. Like you are connecting with it, and it can be instantaneous. It can be very quick. It doesn't mean that you have to go into a cave and meditate for it's like 30 years or something. No, it's immediately available because it's what you want, and it's what you recognize and what you remember. So I don't know if I make a lot of sense, but to me it makes sense. Well, so yeah, healing the sick, raising the dead. Joel says a little bit about it in this little piece that I said, like the past is dead and gone. And so it is with the dead. You know, the dead, raising the dead is nothing but being in the world, shining the light that you are, and not becoming part of it in that sense, but you're completely in it. And in that, you can shine light into others, and they have a possibility of waking up too. And that is what we can call like the raising the dead. So the resurrection takes place in you. If you demonstrate your resurrection by being yourself in the light and new identity that you got, it's like that is, then you walk around as the light of the world, and that is what raising the dead is. And you literally demonstrate life. You're not living according to the rules of human beings anymore. The rules of mostly of exchange, like I do something for you, but you have to do something for me. Yeah. And healing the sick, that is beautiful to look at that too. Healing the sick is then nothing more than literally waking up out of your dream of sickness into a new identity that is already available within you. Within you. So the remembrance of the love and light that you are, and feeling the stirring of spirit in you, is what healing is. And that is what healing the sick is. But today is Resurrection Day. Today we are remembering, we resurrect into our spiritual identity. You know, this life that seems to be our human life is over. The past is over, dead and gone. We don't have to live by that anymore. We can just totally forget about it, let it go, and have this brand new moment come to us. So yes, in the simplicity that Joel expresses himself, we recognize ourselves. Like, I really love the way that he is saying the things so simple, and so concrete in that sense. So I want to read this one part one more time. Our whole spiritual body that we read about, spiritual bond, spiritual union, we are one Son of God. We are not sick human beings made well. We are not sinning humans made pure. We have died to our humanhood. The past is dead and gone, and we've been raised up in our spiritual identity, and that is called the resurrection. So in this, I put this little piece, it's a little summary almost of the fifth part of the Resurrection Continued tape. And you can find it on the Facebook page that we have, like the EWHub Secrets of Closed group. And you can also see it on the EWHub website. And there's also a transcript being given in which you can read what Joel says, and you will see the parts that I just read to you. And there's something about this combination. You should try it out for yourself. I cannot really tell because it is my own experience, but take a look at it if you feel like it, because it's such an incredible tape, like part 1 and part 2. This is then part 2 of the resurrection. It's really worth listening to. It's absolutely fantastic. So I'm ending this teaching now. Today we will not have an open meet and greet, so to speak, afterwards. But I hope to see you again next Sunday, where we have our next class. So on Wednesday there will not be in meditation, but on Sunday there will be another class. And so I'm hoping that you have an incredible resurrection day. And I love you so much. I'm so happy that you're here. And shine your light and extend what you are, and heal the sick and dead with that, which are a representation of your old ideas. So you don't need those anymore, but they can be healed, and it can be a very joyous occasion. Okay, I love you, and see you soon. Have a very great day, Easter Sunday. Okay, see you soon. Bye-bye.